Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing this look right here using some new products from Kokie Cosmetics. They sent over to me one of their new artist palettes in the shade Peachy Queen. That is what it looks like. I also have one of their liquid eyeshadows. This is the Crystal Fusion liquid shadow in the shade Polaris, as well as this highlighter. It's the Soft Glow highlighter, and I have the shade Gleaming. So I'm going to be using all of these products, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts at the end. Really quickly, I'm going to go over some information and pricing, and then we will get into this eye look, and then I'm going to show you this highlighter right here. Starting off with the eyeshadow palette, it is $15. There's 3 different options, but I have the shade Peachy Queen, and as you can see, you're definitely getting the peachy coral shades and a little bit of berry in here. I'm going to show you guys the swatches while I read to you the information. It reads, introducing our Artistry Eye Palette, meticulously formulated to bring the best quality, high pigmentation, and extreme blendability. Our Peachy Queen palette offers warm, rich mauve and pink hues that range from light to deep. It consists mainly of matte shades, but also includes 3 beautiful shimmers for added dimension. And then we have the Crystal Fusion liquid eyeshadow. I have the shade Polaris. There are 12 different shades though, and this retails for $6. This claims to dry down completely, have high shine, and be long wearing. And then last but not least, the Soft Glow highlighter. This retails for $6 and there's 4 different shades. The one that I have is the shade Gleaming. A unique bouncy highlighter with a silky cream-like application. This highlighter offers a natural finish for subtle, sultry glow. The perfect everyday sheer highlight in 4 various shades. Best applied with damp blending sponge or damp dense brush. Now I'm done talking, so let's go ahead and get into this eye look. I'm going to start off with this shade in the palette on a Refer number 15. I'm starting on the outer corner, and my eyes are primed already with the, with the Anastasia Beverly Hills New Primer. And this is just going to go into the crease and all the way to the inner corner and upwards as a transition shade. That blended itself out, I'm pretty sure. I want to make sure and really bring it up right around here. Same brush, and now I'm going to go in with this coral shade. I'm going to go directly into the crease first, and then blend upwards. I'm using a very light hand. My hand is at the end of the brush so that I'm not applying too much pressure. And just circular motions to blend it upward. Sonia G Crease Pro, and I'm going to grab this bottom corner shade. I'm going to start by tapping this onto the outer corner. And then I'm lightly going to bring this into the crease. Slightly bringing it upward, but not nearly as high as I did for the last 2 shades. And I'm mainly focusing it on this outer corner, not so much the inner. Still using the same brush, I'm going to grab this shade right here. Again, tapping on the outer corner. This shade does not appear to have as much pigmentation as I would like, so I'm going to try this shade instead. Again, just tapping right on the outer corner. Bringing it lightly into the crease. As you can see, this shade doesn't have a whole lot of pigmentation to it either, but it gets the job done. Just have to layer it up a little bit. Now I'm going to take my Refer prototype. I think this is 21 or 22. I forget which one's the bronzer brush and which one is this brush. But I'm going to take this shade right here, and I'm going to apply it to the brow arch. Before I try out the glitter, I want to try out one of these more shimmery shades. So I'm going to take this one on the same brush. And I am using this dry. Placing it on the lid, slightly tapping over the edge of the last brown. So as you can see, it's just a soft shimmer, very soft. Now I'm going to go in with our Crystal Fusion liquid eyeshadow, and this is the shade Polaris. I'm taking my Refer brush, and I'm just going to grab the product directly off of the applicator. Then I'm going to tap it on the lid. Going right up to the crease, not passing it, and going about 3/4 of the way over. I want to make sure I get it on the inner corner as well. This is what one layer looks like, but I want to see what happens if I try for two. So I'm adding again, just in kind of like little tapping motions. And I'm keeping this further to the front so that there's a little bit of a gradient. More pigmentation to the front and then less as you go out. Now I'm going to start on the lower lash line, and I'm going to grab the original shade we used on a Wayne number 20. I'm just running this all along the lower lash line. Not trying to be specifically clean with it or anything. Same brush, and I'm going to grab the coral shade. And I'm going to work that as close as I can to the lashes. Royal and Lane Nickel BOM 435, and this light shade right here. Taking this on the inner corner, but honestly, I'm not seeing a whole lot of brightening happening here. So I'm probably just going to take whatever, oh yeah, the highlighter. Let me try that. Same brush, and this is the highlighter in Gleaming. That definitely added a bit more. Now I'm going to go ahead and go off camera and add some, I think I'm just going to do mascara and liner to my inner rim. I finished off, as always, with a bunch of mascara and then the Milk Boss liner on the top inner rim. Nothing new there. Now let's get into the highlighter. So this is one of those putty style highlighters, and it says to use a damp brush, like a dense brush or even a sponge. But I wanted to see how my Linda Hallberg brush worked, because this brush just works magic and it worked perfectly fine. So I'm going to show you guys how I applied that. I took this is the 306 brush, and I picked up the product, kind of pressed the brush in there quite a bit, and you can see it picks it up on the side, and I pressed it in first, and then I just kind of started to blend, and it worked it into the skin beautifully. And then I just took the excess up on my forehead, I put some on my chin, the tip of my nose. I feel like this brush worked just fine, so I didn't have to go in with any kind of special measures. And I actually got quite a bit of intensity out of this. I definitely can tell that you would be able to make this very sheer and very just glowy, lit from within. I feel like that's what happened on my forehead when I used just a little bit. But this is, I think, my favorite thing out of everything that I tried. This is really, really beautiful. And for $6, I can't complain. This color is stunning. I just love this. So I was really happy. Woo! It is not a Mel video if I do not mispronounce something or drop something. So there goes my highlighter, but I like the highlighter. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get into the eyeshadow palette. First off, I want to say that Anastasia's primer for the eyes is amazing, and this definitely worked really well on top of that. What I do want to say is when I went onto my lower lash line, obviously I had powder underneath there before applying anything, so it didn't grab as much. So I feel like if you're going to use this palette, go in with just a primer. Do not set your eyes, because I feel like you're going to get more color pigmentation when you don't set it. Like normally if I used any of my other, like if I used a Tarte Shape Tape or if I used any other primer, I would have set it with MAC Blanc type, and I feel like I wouldn't have gotten this amount of pigmentation just based off of the lower lash line and how it was set. So definitely use an unset base. And then the only thing I have to say, if I can get this open, it's a little bit difficult. Shimmers are pretty, but they are very soft. So they're very, very wearable. They're not something that are going to be in your face. I like the lighter shades better than I do the darker shades. This shade's beautiful. I love the first shade I used. I didn't get a lot of pigmentation out of this one here, but it worked really well for the brow highlight, so I'm not mad at it. The browns are not as dark as they seem. You do have to build up just a little bit, but you can get there. You just have to build up just a little bit. Now, this guy right here, so I had tried this yesterday just on my hand. I definitely would say that this is long wearing, but today I wanted to see how it wore if I applied a second coat. Don't do a second coat. Stick with one coat because on the inner corner right here, it is a little crumbly, and on the part where I didn't add that second coat, it's totally fine, and it did dry down. I feel like it takes a little bit longer than the Stila ones or the Peachy ones, but it does dry down. It's not transferring anywhere. If you have hooded eyes or anything, I would suggest letting your eyes stay down, kind of wave it dry before I would look up. But yeah, one coat and it's beautiful. Let me show you. I'm going to show you up against the Stila one in Wonderlust. One big fuss I have with these, because I love them, but they dry out. They dry out pretty quickly, and I had no idea until I had like 30 of them, of course. This is the Kokie one. So you can see it's a little bit more sheer. And then this right here, I just had to put some drops in here, like my MAC Fix Plus. That is one trick I can tell you if you have these Stila ones. The hole is big enough to where you can literally just squirt some Fix Plus or even like the Anastasia one, whatever you want to do, just something down in there and it will kind of revive them, because this one was dead and it's my favorite, Wonderlust. I just want to show you like the intensity difference. So this definitely has a whole lot more glitter, and this one's just a little bit more sheer. So if you're somebody who wants to have like that glittery look but not be in your face, this is really pretty, and I really like the color of it. I think it looks really nice on my lids. So just don't put 2 layers. That is it. Overall, I like how everything turned out. My favorite thing is the thing I threw on the floor. But let me know what you guys think about this look and what do you think about the products. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.